one part of this hate campaign or smear campaign against me started by the son of Jack Bassett, the ex-Cooma cop who suicided over my 1959 rape in 1985, involves Allen and Unwin and their book Brothers in Arms, the inside story of two bikie gangs, they say, allegedly written by Lindsay Simpson and Sandra Harvey. The New South Wales State Government funded the mini-series Bikie Wars a couple of years ago. Allegedly, Bikie Wars was based on the book Brothers in Arms. The co-producers or co-funders were located a short stroll from Allen and Unwin in Sydney. I highlight the fact that the bulk of the story told in Brothers in Arms, the inside story of two bikie gangs, was actually the inside story of Sydney New South Wales police, detectives and uniform police involved in the investigations of the Milperra shootings and what they were doing in their private lives. In documentation in the Brothers in Arms book that reads more like a bulk resume for high-ranking Sydney police, the story about outlaw bikie gangs sort of pales into insignificance a number of times. I've gone through the book quite extensively because I had no personal involvement in it, so it didn't faze me actually reading it. No offence intended, but I wasn't personally involved with it, so I could read it quite easily. Over the years, at the beginning of this century, I went through the Brothers in Arms book quite extensively to look for its flaws and found numerous. The flaws, one of the flaws included a specific date where a number of motorcycle club members were allegedly gone to visit a funeral site on a second Sunday in a particular month. When you look at the historical calendars for that particular year, the date that was quoted was not a Sunday. So this was basically one of the multiplicity of errors that were documented in Brothers in Arms, which leads you to believe, and that varying style of writing leads you to believe that there was a lot more than two people authoring that book. Page 1113 of the book, Brothers in Arms, starting at chapter 9, headed Aftermath. Now this is supposed to be aftermath of the bikie shootings. So in aftermath of the bikie shootings, we learn that police officer Ronald Stevenson had been a police officer for 36 years in 1984, and he was often rostered on as a duty officer for the Sydney Police Regional Crime Squad South. Police officer Ronald Stevenson's private car was a green Ford Falcon. He was also aged 53. He considered himself a bit of a stud. He had open heart surgery in 1981. He stopped drinking alcohol after the open heart surgery. Stevenson's daughter's name was Louise. His wife's name was Gloria. Gloria's nickname from Stevenson was Love. Stevenson's son-in-law, he was named Peter. Stevenson often wore a wristwatch and a police pager. Stevenson had a family barbecue on Father's Day 1984 at his daughter's residence, and she lived in Bonnet Bay, Sydney. During the family barbecue on Father's Day 1984, police officer Ronald Stevenson wore brown shorts and an open neck shirt, and he drank soda water. Police officer Stevenson wore long pants and a blazer when he attended the Father's Day shooting. He topped this off with a 30-inch belt he borrowed from his son-in-law, Peter. Evidently, due to Stevenson's remarkable fashion sense on Father's Day 1984, he was promoted to superintendent. It couldn't have been due to his prowess as a police officer, that's for sure. When Ronald Stevenson attended the Father's Day 1984 Viking pub shootings in Milperra, New South Wales, he meticulously described the murder scene as a honeypot. The expression the authors used was bees to a honeypot, where the expression is really bees to honey. And a honeypot, as we all know, is a slang term used for an ambush where sexual enticement is used to trap the desired target or group of people.